After the weekend, Mondays blow. You can make it better with the Monday show. Well, if it isn't Monday, here's your cup of news. American Sniper once again took the top spot at the box office with $64.4 million. This proves that American audiences demand more fake babies in their movies. On the other side of the spectrum, Mortdecai flopped in its opening weekend with only $4.4 million. This is the third Johnny Depp film to underperform after The Lone Ranger and Transcendence. Simon Pegg has been hired to write the screenplay for the upcoming Star Trek III. Due in 2016, I'm guessing the Klingons will be zombies, the Vulcans will be cops, and Paul will make a special cameo appearance. Larry Charles, the well-known director of episodes of Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm, as well as the highly successful film Borat, is making a movie about the real-life story of Gary Faulkner, a construction worker from Colorado who quit his job to hunt down Osama bin Laden. Nicolas Cage has been cast in the lead, so it appears that bin Laden had at least once attempted to steal the Declaration of Independence. For a while now, scientists have theorized that water came to Earth from comets, but new data from the Rosetta spacecraft on Comet 67P has found a ratio of 3 times heavy water to Earth's normal terrestrial water. Scientists everywhere are saying, H2, oh no, we've been wrong this whole time. Last year, all major media outlets focused on Ebola like the plague. What hasn't been discussed is the effect it is having on apes and gorillas. Our evolutionary cousins, they are also susceptible to the virus, and new research suggests at least a third of their population has died from Ebola. I really think this needs more attention. To be honest, lately I've been feeling overwhelmingly nostalgic for the past, but up until this episode, I didn't know why. Nostalgia gets its name from the Swiss physician Johann Hofer, who in 1688 combined the Greek words nostos, meaning return, and algos, meaning pain. He used nostalgia to describe an illness suffered by Swiss mercenaries who were separated from their homeland. A couple of years ago, I worked as a cashier at a restaurant. I remember one time a lady came in wearing the same perfume as my grandma. I immediately missed her and even teared up. Why is that? Our other senses, such as sight, touch, and hearing, pass through the thalamus before being processed by the memory center. It is our olfactory cortex, the part of the brain that processes smell, that is directly connected to the hippocampus, the area of the brain that stores memories. Thus, smells bring back the strongest recollections. Nostalgia can also be triggered by loneliness. For almost a year now, I've been living in this apartment by myself. Generally, I enjoy the space, but sometimes it can get really lonely. Nostalgia counteracts this with reflections of close relationships, thus serving as a restorative function for individuals regarding their social connectedness. A third source of nostalgia is music. In the film Casablanca, it is not the sight of Ilsa that brings back painful memories for Rick, but instead hearing the song as time goes by. Every time I listen to the Billy Joel song River of Dreams, I vividly recall listening to it on cassette while my dad drove me to kindergarten. Memories flood in when I listen to the Beach Boys, Britney Spears, even NSYNC. Don't judge. When we listen to a song we enjoy, the auditory cortex releases dopamine, a biological drug that literally gets you high. Listening to the same song, even years later, releases the same amount of dopamine, the happy drug. Here's the craziest trigger of nostalgia: temperature. Tom Wilshire, a psychology researcher at the University of Southampton in England, conducted 3 very interesting experiments. In the first experiment, he had participants keep a journal for 30 days of every time they felt nostalgic. He then correlated their entries with weather reports from those same 30 days. The participants felt the most nostalgic on the coldest days. So then he puts different participants into a cold room. He asks half of them to recall memories from their past and then has everyone guess the temperature of the room. So the ones who had been thinking of memories guessed higher temperatures. So then he had participants, also different from before, put their hands in a bucket of cold ice water. The ones who were made to feel nostalgic were able to keep their hands in the bucket the longest. Tim Wilshire's research suggests that warm memories may literally make your body warmer. So ultimately, I think all of these are what's causing my own sense of nostalgia. I'm constantly listening to music. I get lonely sometimes, and it is winter. Also, you never know when a familiar smell may drift your way. And now for something you didn't expect to learn about. I have here The Wizard of Oz and Dark Side of the Moon. You've probably heard that if you play them at the same time, they oddly sync up perfectly, but members of Pink Floyd have long denied doing this on purpose, so what causes this? The first explanation is apophenia, the experience of seeing patterns in random or meaningless data. Another example of apophenia is this picture. What you probably see is a face when really it's just 3 circles in a line. Our mind plays tricks on us sometimes, and apophenia is a possible explanation for gambling, paranormal phenomena, even religion. Another example is confirmation bias. This is the tendency to search for, interpret, or recall information that confirms one's beliefs or hypotheses. If I believe that these will sync up, then in my mind they will. To be honest, you could watch any movie while listening to any album and have similar results. Hey, you could always subscribe down there, and there's a video you could watch, and there's a video you could watch, and get you later.